It's been a while since I've done an update on the house and the renovations, so I figured I'd give you guys a full walkthrough and an update. We've got a lot of the work completed, and the house is actually listed for sale now. And although we have it for sale, we do have some things that we're still wrapping up, that we're working on, but they're not anything serious. And we decided that we wanted to go ahead and list this house for sale and just continue working over time if we don't get any offers. One thing that we've done since my last video is pressure wash this whole area here. If you guys remember from the previous videos, this was black and nasty, and so this is all cleaned out now. And also over here there was a black drainage pipe that ran along there from this downspout, and not sure why they bypassed that, but we took that off and set it up correctly. So this is all nice and clean and pretty now. And we'll go back in the house here. So I have a ladder in here right now for showings, for people that want to see up into the loft area, because the original owner did not install the spiral staircase as they had indicated in the blueprints. And this bathroom, I'm not sure if I had shown it before or not, but this bathroom actually had multiple broken tiles, so I replaced tiles along here. Those are all new, and there also was no shower curtain rod, so I installed that. And the toilet equipment inside started failing, and water started spraying out of the components inside, so I had to take that apart and install new mechanicals in the toilet. And we haven't really done much in here. We do intend to paint this room a similar color here soon, and we're also going to remove those square frames, well, rectangle frames, from the wall over there. They look like picture frames, but they're actually not. They actually had glued wood frames to the wall and then painted the center white, so we have to try to remove those without tearing off the drywall. And of course there's the loft. We haven't really had to do anything there. The floor has been washed and has some quick shine on it. And we also are going to be painting this room here, and we haven't gotten to that yet. And you guys have already seen before the master shower all finished. I don't know if I had shown you in a previous video or not that we painted this gray. The gray matches the tiles. So that's all nice and pretty. We still have to get new mirrors here. One of the mirrors is missing, and the other one's got a chip in the corner. And there really wasn't a whole lot that we had to do in this master closet, except that I did install those clothing rods there. There was no place to hang any clothing in here for some odd reason. And out here, I painted this deck. So this deck is now brown color. It matches the roof and it matches the other deck. Sorry if I'm rotating too quickly. And in here we have painted the kitchen. It's a really pretty blue color. Traditionally I've tended to use really light greens or neutral colors, but with all of this wood in here, I had decided that neutrals aren't always going to be the best option. I wanted something with a little more color that would actually pop against the brown and the blacks. But we like how that turned out. It looks really pretty. We just finished painting in here. The previous owner had smoked heavily in these rooms, so everything was yellowish brown, stained, and it smelled horrible. The trim going around the center of the walls is original. We just painted the majority of the wall, and those are the original window treatments. And the same thing goes for this room. We just painted it. It was nasty, smelled horrible, stains all over the walls, but it looks really, really nice now. We do have a little bit of baseboard work that we have to do here, but nothing major. Looks nice and new in here now. And we're going to also be painting these hallways. We have not done that yet. These things that we haven't done yet aren't anything super major. We do need to get a new mirror for in here, but everything in here is working great. I had installed that new shower curtain rod there. Nothing much to report in here. This is pretty much the same. We need to paint. Cover up these children's paintings here. Same thing with this room. There really wasn't anything that we had to do, except we did replace the bad seals in these windows. And we did the same thing in that room that I was just in. The gas seals inside were bad, so there was condensation in the windows. And in here we replaced that vent cover, and if you guys remember, I did some work here with the washer and dryer. And I don't know if you guys remember, this garage was disgusting. It was piled to pretty much the ceiling with garbage, lots of random stuff, so I cleaned it out. I took down some of the shelving here because it was an excessive amount of shelving. You can actually see all the extra shelves up there. And if you remember, all of this stuff was full of boxes of candle stuff and everything, and we actually ended up selling that in bulk to someone that owns a flea market. And of course that door and then the front door, those are both brand new. They were replaced. So this is all cleaned up here. If we get time, I'm hoping that I'll be able to pressure wash that garage floor and paint in the garage as well. And here in the basement, this has been cleaned up. It was a dirty mess. If we're here for longer than anticipated, I'd like to paint these walls coming down here. And this is all nice and cleaned out. If you guys remember, this was all full of shelving. We put waterproof coating on this basement wall. You guys may have also seen the video where water was coming through the wall there, which ended up being directly related to the level of water in the swimming pool because of the hydrostatic relief hole that's in the pool, and it's directly related to the water table outside. But now that we know that, and we don't let the water level get too high in the pool, and we've waterproofed the basement, all is well. Got all my plants in here because it's cold outside. Normally I would have my greenhouse set up, but for the showings I opted not to set that up. These shelves are all cleaned out now. Used to be full of trash and stuff. That's our pile of candles over there that we decided we're going to keep for ourselves. All of these doors down here have new locks and doorknobs. And this has all been cleaned out. And all of this fencing was cleaned off. If you guys remember, it was covered in vines and plants, vegetation. So we cleaned all that out, and this was pressure washed. There was a random post sticking up out of the ground here, and a fence that came across here. We tore all that down. More fence painted to match the deck. And this was all cleaned up and pressure washed. And here's our lovely patio area. We are going to be repairing these concrete slabs here. We started to do it over there, so we're not done yet. And once we do that, we're going to paint that to match around the pool area. I had actually put a solid color concrete stain on that, so once we repair these slabs, then all of this is going to be the same color. So that should look nice. And of course we made some changes to the way this fence was set up. We brought it in along the concrete slab line perimeter. And we put some nice post caps on there. Painted those wood posts. Those red stones there, those will also be the same color as around the swimming pool. And of course all this was pressure washed. The bottom of the pool's a little bit dirty right now from all the leaves and stuff, but I think overall I've done a pretty good job renovating this swimming pool. If you guys can remember what this used to look like, it's shocking. I went and looked back at the previous video, and it's easy to forget what it looked like before. And then you see how it looks now. It just blows my mind. But all of this is working very well. I've got the jets continuously running right now because we've been getting into some freezing temperatures at night. I don't want anything to freeze. And I also don't want to shut down the pool because of showings. So I got to keep that running. All of this was pressure washed, and if we get around to it, we're going to put a new sand topping coating on this and finish it up, make it look nice again. But if we get a buyer that's happy with it the way it is, then we're not going to mess with it. So all of this deck has been painted except for the underside. That's another thing where if we're here longer, we may get to painting the underside, but it has been pressure washed. So it's not green anymore. Looks pretty good. And of course my repairs here to the swimming pool equipment is working extremely well. Haven't had any problems with that. And I had removed that old water heater that used to be right there. And again, I did spray that concrete stain on here. Looks pretty nice. And of course we rebuilt this whole section over here on the right, the railing for the deck. It's looking pretty good, I think. Hard to believe this is the same house. Well, anyway, that'll be it for this update, and we'll keep you guys posted on what happens with the remaining updates and the potential sale.